is Jared Horak for today's RacingDigest.com, and this week we're going to jump away from our Santa Anita Saturday videos, and we're going to do the Belmont Stakes this Saturday. We're going to preview the Belmont Stakes. We'll talk about what it takes to win the Belmont and look at some of the contenders in the Belmont. Now, first, I think one of the big things that you want to look at is the horses that ran in the Kentucky Derby and skipped the Preakness. They've been doing well in recent Belmont Stakes over the course of, since back from 2000. Many times we've seen horses run in the Derby, skip the Preakness, and then win the Belmont. Horses with New York connections, with jockeys and trainers that are based in New York, do well in the Belmont Stakes. Pedigree, of all the three races in the Triple Crown, pedigree and being able to get that distance is the most important thing in the Belmont Stakes. And then the Preakness seems to be a negative prep. Now, a lot of years you see horses, obviously they come out of the Derby, they come back 2 weeks later in the Preakness, and they perform well. But then those same horses that then come back 3 weeks later that ran in the Preakness and run in the Belmont, they disappoint more often than not, at least recently. So now let's look at the horses that are going to run in the Belmont Stakes for 2017. Twisted Tom is number one, and maybe his biggest strength is going to be his rider, Javier Castellano. And he's based in New York, and he's done well in the Belmont Stakes. He hasn't won it, but he was second aboard Stay Thirsty, Commissioner, and then Destin last year. So he's going to save all the ground, and he's going to try to get involved late. Now, Tapwrit for trainer Todd Pletcher. Todd Pletcher's won the Belmont Stakes 2 times. He has a local rider in Jose Ortiz. 6-1 Morning Lion. He reminds me a bit of Destin last year. Destin was my top choice last year. He lost a heartbreaking photo finish. But Tapwrit certainly looks like he could be a top 3 threat for Todd Pletcher. Gormley coming in for Southern California. He ran in the Kentucky Derby. He skipped the Preakness. He's coming back for the Belmont. Just don't know if he wants to quite go this far. And his numbers are a little bit behind some of the top contenders. Jay Boy's Echo for trainer Dale Romans. He's one that at least you can use for the exotics. He's 15-1. His sire, Mineshaft, should give him stamina. Mineshaft's sire was AP Indy, and AP Indy was a Belmont Stakes winner. Hollywood Handsome's number 5 for trainer Dallas Stewart. Seems to be a bit overmatched from a class standpoint in here. But he is improving, but I just think he's not quite up to these. Looking at late, the Belmont Stakes is going to be his 4th start in 8 weeks. So he's run in the Derby, he's run in the Preakness, and I just think it's going to be tough for him to step up and run another big race in the Belmont Stakes. You have Irish Warcry, your Morning Line favorite, certainly capable of winning this. He won the Wood Memorial earlier this year. He's also won the Holy Bull Stakes, but he's thrown in some clunkers like in the Kentucky Derby, and then before that in Florida. So a few times he's thrown in some bad efforts, but he's capable of big efforts. Senior Investment coming out of the Preakness Stakes, rallied to finish 3rd. His trainer, Ken McPeak, he's saddled a Belmont Stakes winner in the past. He'll try to get involved late. Meantime, looks like the one to catch. He's going to be out there under Mike Smith, most likely setting the pace. He was 2nd in the Peter Pan Stakes, the local prep for the Belmont Stakes. Multiplier, another one that he ran in the Preakness Stakes last time. So I think it's going to be difficult for him to come back and run a good race. He was up the track in the Preakness. Epicharis, he's coming in from Japan. This is his first U.S. start. He was 2nd in the UAE Derby last time. He ran well in Japan prior to that. He handles dirt. He's bred to run all day. But he had a foot issue earlier this week, and we'll have to see if he still ends up running in the Belmont. But it could be tough for overseas runners sometimes. We don't know quite how he's going to class up with the U.S. runners. We'll find out. But he can run all day, I'm sure of that. And then you have Patch on the outside. He looks interesting. He's also for trainer Todd Pletcher. His jockey, John Velasquez, he's won the Belmont Stakes twice with Union Rags and Rags to Riches. And Patch is certainly bred to get the distance. So now looking at all those contenders, my top 4 contenders in here, and Tapwrit will be my top choice. And his sire, Tapwrit, he's done well recently with horses running in the Belmont Stakes. Creator, Belmont Stakes winner last year. Tonalist, in 2014, he won the Belmont. You had Frosted finish 2nd, and then Lonnie was 3rd last year. So Tapwrit, horses sired by Tapwrit have been running well in the Belmont. I mentioned he has Todd Pletcher. He has a local rider, Jose Ortiz. He's going to save all the ground, probably tracking from mid-pack. And if you look at his Tampa Bay Derby numbers from the Today's Racing Digest, he had a 146 pace and a 146 final number in that race. I like that balanced attack where he's able to run a pace figure and a final number that are exactly the same. He was 6th in the Kentucky Derby. As I said, Kentucky Derby also runs do well in the Belmont Stakes. So Tapwrit will be my top choice to win the Belmont Stakes. His stablemate, Patch, is going to be my 2nd choice. He's got that pedigree. Union Rags, who won the Belmont Stakes in 2012, and he was my top choice in the Belmont that year. And then the dam sire, AP Indy, 1992 Belmont Stakes winner. So Patch's sire and dam sire both won the Belmont. And we mentioned his trainer, Todd Pletcher. He's won a couple Belmont Stakes. And then you have John Velasquez, his rider. He's ridden a couple Belmont Stakes winners. Now from post 20, Patch finished 14th in the Kentucky Derby. That was tough from out there. But you look at his other numbers, he's only run 4 times, but his 3 Today's Racing Digest final ratings improved in each of those 3 with a 137 in the Louisiana Derby. So if he can jump forward off of that number, he could certainly be a threat in here. My third choice will be Irish Warcry. He earned a 152 final number in the Wood Memorial and a 153 in the Holy Bull. He's the fastest horse in the race, so if he can get the 1.5 miles, he's probably going to end up winning. He'll probably track the pace, but the key here is, does he want to go this far? And then as a live long shot, my fourth choice will be J. Boy's Echo. As I mentioned, he does have some stamina on the sire side. He's one that's had some numbers. If you go back and you look at his Gotham Stakes number, if he can run back to that kind of number, and that was in New York as well, then I think he could at least sneak into the exotics. So how we're going to play this one is I think I'm just going to make a win wager on Tapwrit. We're going to play an exacta box. We'll key Tapwrit in first and second in the exacta, and we'll use Patch, Irish Warcry, and J. Boy's Echo in there as well. And then exactas and trifectas, we're going to put Tapwrit and Patch on top, and then we'll throw in Irish Warcry and J. Boy's Echo along with those 2 in the second slot, and then we'll throw all in the third slot. So that's how we're going to play this one. And the Belmont Stakes looks pretty wide open this year, and hopefully we're on the right track. And if you're interested in my full card analysis, go over to todaysracingdigest.com. My Belmont Stakes full card will be available later this week. Also, if you're interested in that full, complete digest for the Belmont Stakes, excellent information there. You can go over to todaysracingdigest.com and get that information as well. That'll wrap up this week's video. We'll be back next week with another stakes race from Santa Anita Park.